What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Today I'm going to show you how I amassed $600 million total income in just 6 months on the game. So we're going to quickly go through the stats here and take a look at how I play my game. So when I first started the game, my buddy had actually introduced me to it. And he was watching his buddy do the RP version of Grand Theft Auto Online on PC, and he's like, "You got to try it out." And I pondered, and I'm like, "I don't know about that." And then finally, I gave in, completed story mode within the first week, and got into the online. So as we see, I started playing October 19th, 2020. April 19th, 2021 was my last level up, which was the other day. I just got too lazy to put the video up at that time. So as you can tell, I have spent way too much time playing the game. Thank you, COVID, or no thank you, COVID. Me, myself, I'm a grinder. Put in the time to make the money. I'm not really a killer. So as we continue going through these stats, some of the stats people will care about, which I completely disagree with, is going to be combat. Mine is all about the cash. So as you see, I spent 327-ish million on vehicles, 63 million on clothes. Yeah, I pretty much own every clothing piece in the game. That being said, as I start streaming, if I continue to play the game, we'll have little contests of people can pick what my outfit of the day is going to be. However, I want the skull theme to it, so it's going to have to be a skull mask of sorts, along with whatever other clothing you choose. So when it comes to combat, in the beginning, I was floating around at 0.5 KDR because KDR to me does not matter. It certainly matters to a lot of people out there, but it does not matter to me. To be a successful criminal means you need to make a lot of money and be able to defend yourself, so it's a delicate balance. It is not about who can kill the most people, because no matter what your KDR is, it can either be inflated by you blowing yourself up all the time, or you can get a modded account, etc., etc. Run God mode. KDR should have never been introduced into the game. But it is part of the game, so it is what it is. So I do remember my arch enemy. I was actually helping a friend do a CEO mission, so I couldn't even leave it, and I was stuck on a mountain, and I just let this guy kill me so that he didn't grief out them while they were doing business supplies. However, they were taking forever to do it, so I got killed a lot. When it comes to my victim, he was running his mouth in game chat, and I just had enough, and I promised him I would kill him out of the lobby. But the big numbers here are obviously cash. So in this portion of the video, I'm going to show you some of my apartments. So this is Del Piero Pier. So it's located right here. I chose it strategically because it's not the nicest apartment, that's for sure. But strategically because a lot of combat happens in Vespucci Beach. So if you need to get reprieve from that, you can always just duck into your apartment. So the vehicles in here are going to be based upon like beachish kind of feel. So I sometimes do run around in a lifeguard outfit. Helps if you want to do RP. Which, if you guys can find a good RP server, hook me up. I'll totally join that. Not huge on face paints. I kind of wish this was the Punisher look, but it's the only skull type one, because when you go into heists, it removes your face or your whatever mask you're wearing. and it shows your face. So I kind of want to be like incognito and discreet of what my identity is. So I had to run with this as the backup plan to masks. This is going to be the mariachi car. Basically, you go to a certain part of the map at a certain time of day. You shoot the driver of this car, you outrun the police, and then you can garage it. So like I said, I'm going to run with the skull themes for my characters. So any of you who watch Marvel or DC will know some of these people. Our next location on the map is going to be Eclipse Tower 3. Perhaps if I learn how to fly or drive. So I didn't choose anything special here. I went with the modern interior. It is still pretty nice on the inside. It's the most expensive apartment you can buy. The majority of apartments you can't adjust the interior. Eclipse Towers and your penthouse are the only two that you can. So nothing special here, just modern. Pretty clean. I chose to use this garage for vehicles that you can use in heist setups, because as we know, apartments have apartment heists. So this would be the car that you would get from penthouse missions. All of these are going to be CEO vehicles, the armored versions, so that when you're in my CEO and you call up a CEO vehicle, all of them are free. Not these specific models, or not these specific cars, but these specific models will be. Again, Insurgent, you can use that for heist setups. So with this, if I can show you. Which I can't. But I have yellow lighting on it, so it does look like tiger eyes. As a beginning player, everyone should be picking this up, the Kuruma Armored. NPCs in this game generally don't use rockets or explosives, so this can really help you against the bullets. You're almost bulletproof. If you play a lot of free mode and you're getting griefed a lot by explosive rounds, it's hard to beat the Night Shark. So like I said, we all buy Eclipse Towers 3, mostly for the flex. And the ability to customize a little bit. So if you guys do not know, you can have up to 8 garages. So make sure when you go to purchase a property, you click down on the D-pad so it doesn't sell the one you currently own. So this house here, also another strategic house, nothing special at all on the outside. However, the benefit with this house, if you do a little bit of a role play, what you can do, because this is the neighbor's house directly in front of us, sneak over to the neighbors late at night, and boom, pool party. So definitely good for the RP feature. very unkempt yard. So all the apartments you can buy within the game, none of them are really that spectacular comparatively to what some of the largest mansions are. But I did do some research, obviously, and I chose all of my apartments for specific reasons. So we got some military vehicles. We got all my sharks. And then, like I said, my character's based on a skull theme. So we definitely have some skull vehicles. Waiting for some of the skull liveries to come out for some of the other vehicles. Benny's Jobs. This is my very first vehicle to win off of the daily wheel. I'm actually looking for the other hearse, but it's a Halloween special, unfortunately. And this car just needed garage space. Head over to our next stilt apartment.
What? Crap.
Okay, that's not what I wanted to do. Nope. Nope.
Crap.
Can you please make up your mind, sir? As is the state of the game, when you need to do something, you never can do it. Yeah, back to the van.
Oh, get the hell out of the way.
This next location is probably, honestly, the nicest stilt apartment available. So it's like a mini castle. Cute on the outside. Again, all these stilts have the exact same interiors, so we don't need to go through them. This is the only apartment you can buy with a pool on it. So that's clean. On to the next two. So the reason I purchased these two is the back decks. I wish you could go on the balconies. You cannot. You can't sit in the chairs. Yada yada. Again, all this stuff's cosmetic, unfortunately. But a nice brick back deck. And then on this one, a beautiful 2-level deck. Wooden. So with these two houses, I chose to do off-road style vehicles. So as I may or may not have stated, with grinders, it's a large community because we have to work so closely along with each other for the same common goal versus a griefer or a killer who can be friends in one lobby and hate each other in the next. We put many hours of time with the same people, so you want someone like-minded to grind with if that's the way you're going to go. You also kind of got to like the person too, or the people. So with crews, that doesn't mean that you even have the same goals, let alone you can even get along with each other. So crews are kind of blasé to me. They don't really mean anything. Because loyalty is only as far as the person has their mood swing that day. So again, some off-roading stuff. Toy Story, it's about as close as you're going to get. So you'll also notice one thing with all of my cars, I did do the custom license plate. And that is available via the iFruit app on your actual physical cell phone. My iFruit does not work currently. I don't know, it just closes down as soon as I load into it. What do we have left for houses? So Del Piero, Eclipse, neighbor backyard pool, castle, those. And then we will review my 2 garages. And that is my 8 properties. And we'll finish this off at my penthouse. So my garages were strategic because I have my MC businesses by Alamo C. I have a garage out there because, again, relief from people because there's not much out here to protect you. And if you ever need a vehicle, I know you can always call your mechanic or quick menu or whatever, but it's still nice to have a garage in the middle of nowhere, just to have the access to it. Because like I said, for RP purposes, just calling up a vehicle is not a thing. So with this garage, again, being that it's a more desert area or when it snows the 2 days a year, I took that into account. So we got 2 snowish style vehicles. Again, I made those rims look the same as the rim that's on the hood here. Can't see it, but it is. And then being that we're in a brown area, really sandy. So I got sandy vehicles out here. And now way down to my final garage, or my 8th garage property. Again, also strategic. So the reason why I keep this one, it's by the airport, it's exceptional this way, is a lot of people like to grief at the airport, but a lot of people also like to race at the airport. I'll tell you right now, racing does not make you money at the airport, so there's no point doing it. Spending your first millions on a supercar, yeah, it's all cool, but as soon as the next supercar comes out, you're not even going to use that past supercar. Invest in business. The super most important thing, do not spend money unless you can make money, unless you can afford it. Running around with 20K all the time is not successful business planning. There you go, I have 52 million. Not super huge, but when you own almost everything, it's massive. So as I continue to play the game, I won't have to spend money anymore on vehicles. I have almost all of them. I won't have to spend on property. I do have all of them. So with this airport one, like I said, people do race cars there. Yes, you can spawn out a vehicle very quickly outside the airport, but you can also just run up here and grab a vehicle if you want your race vehicles to be in here. Mine's kind of a mixed bag. I tried to do all of my garages to specific reasoning. So in the case here, because I don't really airport race, although sometimes I do, I have a few fairly quick cars. So that was free at the time, picked it up. Again, there's a couple paint jobs I don't have unlocked, so chrome I don't have, unfortunately. Speedo van just because it's really cool. Super good for RP. I just really like this Eclipse, it's nice. Speed glitch cars, this is the Tony Stark Audi. If you don't know how to do the speed glitch, well, There's plenty of videos online, or I could tell you in the comments. And being that I'm Canadian, Toronto Raptors basketball, I have to have some Raptor vehicles. And that is it. The tour of my apartments and garages. Stay tuned next video. We'll take a look at the MC businesses and how I make some more money.